Ever since the beginning of Geometry Dash, players have been wondering what the best level in the game is. With nearly 100 million unique levels uploaded in the game, this sounds like an impossible task. And yeah, I'd have to agree, so I've only been searching for the best main level in the game. Instead of the 1 in 100 million, it's 1 in 22. I asked a combined 200,000 people what the best main level in Geometry Dash is, in a tournament style, and here are the results. First of all, this was all done through YouTube's community tab. Every day I'd put out a poll with 3 or 4 different levels and people would vote for the one that they liked the most. These were the preliminaries, and there were 6 sets of these 3 or 4 levels. They mostly went in order of their release, with the first few being exactly like that, but as they went on, I remember that some of them were certainly fan favorite levels, and I didn't want 3 of the most popular levels together right off the bat. The results of the first round was a convincing win by Dryout and Jumper. Super close match between Clutterfunk and Theory of Everything. A solid win by Theory of Everything 2, Clubstep winning, but Electrodynamics scoring pretty high, and a huge win by Deadlocked. Now what are those colors in pink? Well, if I moved on like this, there would only be 6 levels remaining, and I thought it'd be more interesting to do 1v1s for the remaining levels. A few of these definitely deserve to move on, such as Clutterfunk only losing by 2%, and Electrodynamics having the most votes out of a losing level besides Clutterfunk. So I moved these 2 levels on as wildcards. The first round of semifinals was a bit rough. Dryout versus Electrodynamics. Dryout actually won by a huge margin. Just kidding, obviously Electrodynamics did, and it was the biggest blowout in this entire tournament. While Dryout did somehow have some supporters, most just wondered how it even moved on to the semifinals. Semifinal number 2 was Jumper versus Theory of Everything 2, and it panned out just about exactly how semifinal 1 went. A blowout. Semifinal number 3 was the closest of these semifinals, with Clubstep versus Clutterfunk. Clubstep still won by a good amount. And the last semifinal was Deadlocked versus Theory of Everything, which Deadlocked took with ease. Now into the finals, here's where it got serious. Electrodynamics versus Theory of Everything 2, and surprisingly it was a lot less close than I thought. Toe 2 beat Electrodynamics 68 to 32%, and Electrodynamics was unfortunately eliminated. Next was Clubstep versus Deadlocked, and with the exact same score as the previous final, Deadlocked won, placing Clubstep and Electrodynamics in 3rd place at a tie. Now this is what it all came down to. Finally, the championship. After weeks of polls and almost 200,000 responses, it all came down to this. Theory of Everything 2 versus Deadlocked. Debatably the 2 hardest RobTop levels and the 2 most recent demons. After just a few days, the winner was obvious. Theory of Everything 2 with 60% and Deadlocked with 40%. It's official. The best level in Geometry Dash is Theory of Everything 2. Now obviously, this is not an objective fact, but according to the majority of votes in these specific polls, that's what they say. Not everybody agrees with this, of course, and honestly, I don't agree with the exact placement of the top 5 in entirety. Throughout this whole tournament, I've really been trying to think about my favorite levels, and I think this is my top 5. Theory of Everything 2 up at the top, Deadlocked at 2nd, Electrodynamics at 3rd, Clubstep at 4th, and while it was really just a top 4 in this tournament, I'm gonna put Hexagon Force at a close 5th. Hexagon Force is so special to me because I have vivid memories of playing it on my iPad back when I was in school. I remember my friends watching me play it and the duels were so hard, but once I was able to master them, I felt like a god at the game. The music is also really cool on this level, and I still love it to this day. Clubstep, which I believe is the 2nd hardest level, was really unique with its ship gameplay at the time, and it's unlike any other RobTop level. The ship parts are extremely fun, and it's now a level I can play so effortlessly, but back in the day it was the final boss of the game for me. I remember my friend Ethan and I both trying to beat this level, and we couldn't for so long, but he eventually beat it and I wasn't even close. This level has a lot of memories, and while I may not like its song as much as the other levels in the top 5, it definitely has some of the best memories. Electrodynamics is so special. I'm not 100% sure, but it may be my favorite music out of any level in the game. The speed changes in this level were so completely new at the time, and they made the gameplay so fun. The mini ship parts of this level were really my Achilles heel back in the day, but I love them so much now. The end of this level being so fast and chaotic makes it feel like such a huge win when you beat the level. When I recorded this gameplay with the volume on high, the final 25% of the level were something so special, and they always have been. I remember beating this level for the first time. I think I was in the car on the way to like Pizza Hut or something as a kid. I was playing it on my iPad and I beat it, and I was so excited. I saved it on every play. I was showing my parents, like all of that crazy stuff. This level is really special to me, and I think having such a fast ending makes it feel so much more exciting when you finally beat it. Deadlocked has some of the coolest music in the Rob Top levels, and its gameplay is so fun and different from every other level. While I hated the wave parts when I was younger, I love them now, and they're some of my favorite parts of the level. This is my go-to level to play when I want to look cool for people. When I was in high school, I'd play this level on my phone, and my friends would think I was the best player in the whole game. This level looks so hard to outsiders, and that's part of what makes me feel like such a good player when I beat this level, even today. Theory of Everything 2. I agree that this is the best level in Geometry Dash. The contrast between the high energy parts and the slower segments, especially before the drops, creates such a fun feeling for this level. My favorite has to be the dark segment where the music gets slow and the gameplay is simple, right before what I believe is the hardest part of the level. This part killed me probably a dozen plus times as a kid, and having that extremely hard part in a limbo between the chill piano and the drop made it feel so special. The coins are really fun to get too, and I always have such a good time playing this level. This level's really cool and special to me, and I definitely believe it deserves number 1. I think a part of what makes these levels so special are the memories behind them, and of course, the replayability. Some people noticed this, and I also found it interesting. The 4 finalists were the 4 hardest levels in the game. This definitely isn't a coincidence, and I think that these levels are on the perfect line between too easy and too difficult. They still provide some challenge, and the amazing music paired with the fun gameplay creates a real enjoyable experience for anyone playing. If you've played these levels a ton, there's a good chance you'll be able to beat all of these levels within a few attempts, and that's what makes them so fun, at least to me. There's a challenge, but not too much of a challenge. It's the perfect combination. Gameplay is super important to a level's overall experience. I've noticed that with a lot of online levels that I've played recently. Some of them have incredible decoration, but the gameplay is just horrible, and it just really takes down the entire experience. A lot of online levels I've had are just buggy, unfun, glitchy, unfair to the players, even if they're a low star. I don't think there's a single main level that I just don't like the gameplay of. They're all amazing. And of course, the memories. Like I mentioned in my A Tribute to Minecraft video, playing the main levels with the music on and the lights out has really been a throwback experience for me. And it happened again recently when I was recording all the levels for this video. Anyone who has played the level for years has experienced the main levels. That's one consistent thing. We've all played these levels and we all have memories of them. For most of us, these memories are from our childhood, a time when we had no responsibilities and the only worry in our life was completing today's math homework. For me now, as a 22-year-old who is technically a real adult with real jobs, the memories from these levels really bring me back. I love the Rob Top levels in Geometry Dash, and it's hard for me to choose one that I like above all. They're all really special, and they bring us back to a time when everything was better. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, please like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.